Like a stone thrown into the water, thought produces ripples and waves which spread out over the great ocean of thought. However, the waves on the water move only on a level plane in all directions, whereas thought waves move in all directions from a common center, just as do the rays from the sun. We are surrounded by a great sea of mind. Our thought waves move through this vast mental ether, extending in all directions. It becoming lessened in intensity according to the distance traversed, because of the friction occasioned by the waves coming in contact with the great body of mind surrounding us on all sides. These thought waves have the property of reproducing themselves. A strong thought tends to awaken similar vibrations in minds attuned to receive it. Many of the stray thoughts which come to us are reflections or answering vibrations to some strong thought sent out by another. But unless our minds are attuned to receive it, the thought will not likely affect us. If we are thinking high and great thoughts, our minds acquire a certain keynote corresponding to the character of the thoughts we have been thinking. We will be apt to catch the vibrations of other minds keyed to the same thought. We are largely what we have thought ourselves into being, the balance being represented by the character of the suggestions and thought of others, which have reached us either directly by verbal suggestions or telepathically by means of such thought waves. Our general mental attitude, however, determines the character of the thought waves received from others as well as the thoughts emanating from ourselves. We receive only such thoughts as are in harmony with the general mental attitude held by ourselves. The thoughts not in harmony affecting us very little, as they awaken no response in us. We attract to us the thoughts of others of the same order of thought. The man who thinks success will be apt to get into tune with the minds of others thinking likewise, and they will help him, and he them. The mind has many degrees of pitch, ranging from the highest positive note to the lowest negative note. When your mind is operating along positive lines, you feel strong, buoyant, bright, cheerful, happy, confident, and courageous, and are enabled to do your work well, to carry out your intentions, and progress on your road to success. You send out strong positive thought, which affects others and causes them to cooperate with you or to follow your lead, according to their own mental keynote. When you are playing on the extreme negative line, you feel depressed, weak, passive, dull, fearful, cowardly. And you find yourself unable to make progress or to succeed. In some persons the positive element seems to predominate, and in others the negative quality seems to be more in evidence. When two people first meet, there is generally a silent mental conflict in which their respective minds test their quality of positiveness, and fix their relative position toward each other. We are positive or negative to everyone with whom we have relations. We may be positive to our children, our employees, and dependents, but we are at the same time negative to others to whom we occupy inferior positions, or whom we have allowed to assert themselves over us. Of course, something may occur and we will suddenly become more positive than the man or woman to whom we have heretofore been negative. As the knowledge of mental laws becomes more general, we will see many more instances of persons asserting themselves and making use of their newfound power. You possess the power to raise the keynote of your mind to a positive pitch by an effort of the will. The force of will can raise ourselves to a higher mental key. We can shut out the depressing thoughts and may take up the vibrations corresponding with our changed mental attitude. This is the secrets of the affirmations and auto-suggestions used by the several schools of mental science and other new thought cults. The affirmations serve a twofold purpose. 1. They tend to establish new mental attitudes within us and act wonderfully in the direction of character building, the science of making ourselves over. 2. They tend to raise the mental keynote so that we may get the benefit of the positive thought waves of others on the same plane of thought. So, do not allow yourselves to be affected by the adverse and negative thoughts of those around you. Rise to the upper chambers of your mental dwelling, and key yourself up to a strong pitch, away above the vibrations on the lower planes of thought. Then you will not only be immune to their negative vibrations but will be in touch with the great body of strong positive thought coming from those of your own plane of development.